Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Tyler with My Computer Works, and today I have something kind of special planned for everybody here. If you showed up today, you're gonna get to be introduced to somebody special to me. That is Designation Rogue One. And now, Designation Rogue One isn't just special for me because it's a new laptop. It's also special for you guys as the viewers. Now, the reason I bought this laptop was specifically for you and for this channel. Okay, recently this nice little Lenovo laptop went on sale at Best Buy for about 300 bucks, okay? The reason I grabbed it is normally this is like a $500 laptop, $550 laptop, okay? It's got an AMD Ryzen 5 7520 in it. It's got 8 gigabytes RAM, and it came with the 250 gigabyte SSD, but I put a 1 terabyte SSD in there just because I needed the extra space for what we're gonna be using it for. Now, the reason I got this laptop, it's not super crazy specs. It's not really good hardware, not heavy-end hardware. This is an entry-level laptop. This is what most users are going to be purchasing as they move from Windows 10 to 11. So I bought this. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff on it. It's running Windows 11, and I'm going to see what you guys are experiencing, right? Because like my machines, it's not a fair comparison. And when I get on call, sometimes it's hard to relate with the clients that I'm talking to because yes, I built a 64 gigabyte AMD Ryzen 9X, I have 2 terabyte drives in there, two 2 terabyte drives in there, SSDs, high-end SSDs, the Evos, the Samsung Evo models. I've got, 64 gigabytes of Corsair RAM in here. I mean, this thing it is stacked to the 9, my desktop. I mean, I built this thing for performance. Pretty soon it's got the 4090 graphics card going in it. It's got the 3070 right now. So it's stacked. It's a stacked machine. It was built for work and gaming at a performance level, high-end top performance level. And for me, I'm not a less is more kind of guy when it comes to my computers. I like to build power heavy machines. My PSU is usually pretty fat, getting ready to jam a bunch of hardware and specs in there. So when it comes to my desktop, it's a really bad comparison for me to talk to clients and try to relate the performance issues, even though I know what it looks like and feels like. I've been on slow computers. I've fixed slow computers many times. I wanted to own something that wasn't super stacked, because even like my other laptops have high-end AMD processors in them, at least 16 gigabytes RAM. I have a Lenovo Legion laptop that I think I've shown in the videos a couple times. So yeah, those are bad comparisons for Windows 11 for like a base user who's coming in. Who you guys out there, most of you like business or home users they're gonna be using this. You're gonna be using something like this $300 to $500 laptop or a lower end entry level home desktop, right? So nothing crazy. That's what the purpose of this is. Now today's video involving this laptop, which I've designated Rogue One, right? I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so this is Rogue One. It's a new series of computers in my house. I have names for all my machines, but this is Rogue One. And with Rogue One, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be showing you what I did right from the bat. You can see I'm right at the initial setting up of the PC, right? So I want to show you what I do with my new Windows 11 machines right off the bat to get them best performance as possible, right? So again, only 8 gigabytes of RAM, so it's not like it's got a ton of resources. It's not like my 64 gigabyte or my 32 gigabyte RAM systems that are going to be able to handle a lot at once. This thing is working with a limited amount. It's 8 gigabytes RAM, and that RAM is soldered on to the motherboard, so I can't remove it. I can't swap it out. It is on what's called onboard RAM. It's not coming out of there. It stays on the motherboard. I'd have to replace the motherboard to get to it and swap it out, which I'm not going to do. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. I'm going to be showing you how to speed up your Windows 11 laptop the day you get it. Let's check it out. Okay, so brand new laptop, just got it, right? Windows computer, running the Copilot stuff, all that stuff. Running a lot of stuff that it doesn't need to. So right off the bat, one of the things I'm going to point out that comes with Windows 11 or Windows operating system now is the OneDrive, right? See the little guy over here hiding, already set to just kind of launch, be part of the profile. When you set Windows up, not everybody wants to use it, and I am not a fan. I don't use it. I use local backup. That's what I do for my backup, and I don't mess with OneDrive. So one of the first things I'm going to recommend is either switch over to a legitimate cloud backup like Carbonite or iDrive, and ditch OneDrive. Even do a local backup, whatever. Just ditch OneDrive. OneDrive is going to be always syncing on your computer, right? If it's always syncing your files to the cloud, well, then it's using your resources. So, not a fan of OneDrive. So one of the first things I do when I'm gonna get in here is open OneDrive. You want to open it from the down here in the bottom, down in the taskbar first, and go to Settings and unlink this PC. You see this right here, guys? Unlink this PC. All right. Now it's unlinked, so we can quit it. Quit out of OneDrive. And then now, I'm going to go into my installed apps list, and I'm going to get rid of OneDrive. We don't need it. Again, I'm going to do... Gosh, if I could spell today, guys. I'm going to do local backup, right? Don't need OneDrive. So, boom. Local backup, even though is not managed sometimes like cloud backup is. Now, our cloud backup for you guys is obviously managed and highly recommended if you're going to do a backup that's not local. Do our cloud backup for sure. It's a great cloud backup, and it's very trustworthy. But aside from that, if you're going to do a local backup, which in this case is what I'm going to do because this is just a side machine, and I don't plan on using it for anything. But if it was my main machine, yeah, maybe I'd set up like Carbonite or iDrive on it, right? So to make sure it's backing up all the time and do a local backup. But this is not. This is going to be my side little dinky laptop. For some of you out there, you're going to have the same thing. You're going to buy little 8 gigabyte laptops that you're going to use for things like Facebook games and just other things like that. You don't need OneDrive running on there using your resources for all that, okay? So kick it to the curb, turn it off, and remove it. All right, so that's the first thing. Disable OneDrive. Boom. Got a lot of resources back just off that, okay? Now, the next thing is, and this is after you install all of your applications and programs you plan on using, is you're going to want to open up your task manager, and you're going to want to go check out the Startup Apps tab, which is right here. Now, I've already pretty much gone through this, but I'm going to disable this one too. I turn them all off. You can see Xbox App Services. I don't need that running when I start. And let me explain what this list is real quick. This list is a list of all the applications that are trying to or were running when you start the computer. So, for example, perfect example, maybe you see Microsoft Teams pop up on your computer all the time. Well, the reason for that is because when you get a new computer, Windows 11 computer, you set it up, Microsoft automatically makes Teams enabled. So like when I first set the computer up, Microsoft Teams was enabled, okay? They're going to do that for all their software. It's really annoying. And that's why when you reboot the computer, there's all that stuff loading. Well, you don't want that over time. You don't want your computer to constantly be having this workload of applications and programs starting up with the computer. That's just not good for the system, and it's unnecessary. Sometimes there are applications that you need to launch at startup. I have a couple on my desktop that I have launched at startup. The reason for it, I don't want to have to remember to go turn them on. That's more comfort for me, or me being lazy, right? Because I don't want to go open those applications. I'd rather them start with my computer. But at the end of the day, it's better to just have everything disabled. Because if, again, phone link, I don't need that turning on when my computer's turning on. Even the Radon software startup, right? Like, yes, the Radon software is important for my AMD processor. It helps keep my AMD integrated graphics card up to date. It helps keep my processor good to go. But I don't need it to run when I start my computer, okay? In addition, there's a program out there called Auto Runs. If you're real tech savvy, this will break down in depth the things that are running on your computer at the time. So you could run auto runs to really disable some things. However, you need to be careful when you run auto runs and disable things. Sometimes it'll break things and make things not work. Like if you're turning services off that need to be running for applications and programs. So, but just know everything can be turned off. You don't have to have anything launching at start except for what Windows needs to run. That's it. So if you're having an issue with startup or slow boot, startup items and auto runs can definitely help fix that. The next thing is going to be pretty basic. So when we right click on the taskbar, right, and get the taskbar settings, for Windows 11, I'm turning off Copilot. So turning Copilot off, Don't want that running. Even uninstalling it at times. Turning off notifications coming in. Give me do not disturb. I don't want applications to be able to send me banners, notifications, and all that stuff. In addition, the Windows apps, tips, and suggestions, all off, okay? Once we have that off, I would recommend looking at the actual, if you go into your control panel, you have an option to adjust the appearance and performance of Windows. If it's really bad, and you don't really care about how things look on screen, you could adjust for best performance. And that's going to turn off a lot of the fancy stuff. Might not look as clean. Might look a lot very basic, and you can see like there's text. The text doesn't look as good. But if you're having performance issues and you don't really care about the appearance, you could definitely do that. So I usually go with what's best for my computer. Again, 8 gigabytes RAM. If we go look here, if I pull open the task manager after doing all this, let's see. 46% RAM usage, memory. Most of it's in Streamlabs, which is what I'm running on the computer. So if that wasn't running, and if we go kill Edge, so reboot the machine, probably bring that down to like 50, 60. If, you know, maybe 40. If Streamlabs desktop wasn't running, I'd be able to like cruise online with a solid 50% RAM usage, 60% RAM usage. So definitely better than like the 80% that it was when I first got the machine and all this stuff was loaded on and it was running a bunch of garbage. So definitely go check that out. Follow this tutorial, do those things, and get your Windows 11 laptop where you want it. Because obviously when you buy it, it's going to come, you know, kind of set. You go through the setup, and Microsoft throws a lot of stuff on you, a lot of stuff you don't need. So definitely check that out. If you have any issues or questions, definitely feel free to reach out to us. My Computer Works. The number is at the beginning and the end of the video and down in the description. And please, while you're down there, hit the like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.